You guys remember Don Lemon, don't you? He used to be a big shot over at CNN. He's the gay man married to a white man who thinks white men are evil and racist. Don Lemon was on with Bill Maher and said that people like myself and Shemeka, Black MAGA, we should basically, there's no rational justification for the way that we think. Let's play the clip and then me and Shemeka will respond. Here's Don Lemon.
If the same thing that when I see not all black Republicans, but I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying, it is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person, let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere black MAGA person?
No, I just said, I don't think that, I just said I think there can be sincere Republicans.
But you can't be a sincere black Republican?
I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA, be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
Let me start. And I don't want to take you a bad direction, Shemeka, but I just got to be real and so what my gut reaction is. And so try to stay inside the lines that I'm about to go outside of. But a rational person, a rational person bends over and takes it up the rear end from another man. And this man wants to comment about me being irrational because I support Donald Trump and MAGA. We want to talk about rational, bending over and taking it up the rear end, dropping to your knees and swallowing another man. And this man wants to talk about who's rational and who's not. This man is an idiot. Anyway, I'll have some less profane thoughts here when I'm just fired up today, but go ahead, Shemeka. Please stay inside. I went outside the lines. Color inside the lines, Shemeka.
Okay, Jason, I will do my best to color inside the lines. I do think there's some truth to what he's saying, that the truth can be insulting. And I do understand why he wouldn't see our train of thought as rational, because I don't see anal pole vaulting as a rational train of thought, but somehow he thinks it's natural. When I hear MAGA, of course, we understand that it means make America great again. They always think that it's so hard for Black people to think back to a time when America was great. They want us to go back to Jim Crow or take us back to slavery. For me, someone who was born in 1975, America was great to me when I could play in my neighborhood without the thought of being shot. Our neighborhoods are run down now, and the kids don't have that same freedom. The kids don't have the same freedom that we had to just walk to the store comfortably and safely with 50 cents and come back with your friends and spread out a napkin and have a little party. When I was young, I could walk to my neighbor's house and walk right in. It wasn't dead bolted. There was no alarm system, no camera watching the door. That's when America was great to me. So it really makes me annoyed or angry when someone like Don Lemon says you can't be Black and be MAGA. You have to be a Black Republican. I'm not registered a Republican, and I do understand that there were Democrats, there were libertarians, there were people unaffiliated like myself that actually believe that Donald Trump had the ability to make America great again. We actually thought he was the better candidate against Kamala, against Joe Biden, and against Hillary. So to say that we can't have a rational train of thought is just silly to me. But I get how he doesn't understand it, how he can't wrap his brain around it. I can't wrap my brain eating clean to have what should be a natural act so that my sheets won't be filled with shit and blood. So I get that he doesn't understand it, because there are things about me that I don't understand about things about him. He lays down every night and sword fight with a man that looks just like the ones he claims are the most dangerous people in America. So I get that he doesn't understand it. I don't understand him.
I love the point you made, and I'm going to bear down on that or go that direction. The point you made that he's arguing is like, hey, how can you black people be MAGA, make America great again? Because you're now saying that there was some time in the past when America was great. And Don Lemon completely rejects that and thinks that we all should think that. And I get where he's coming from, because if we go back, there was a time when same-sex marriage was illegal. And he's a gay person, and he thinks being married to some other man is some important thing. And so he's like, oh, back then, blah, blah, blah. But for black people like myself, and this connects to what I was talking about earlier in the show, those of us of my age and even a little bit younger, if you talk to your parents about what it was like for them growing up in the 1950s, 60s, maybe even the 1940s, 70s, and everybody thinks like, oh God, it was so terrible. There was segregation. You weren't allowed. And I've had these conversations with my parents. They weren't miserable. They were not miserable. Did some bad things happen? Emmett Till, whatever, down in Mississippi? Yes. But those bad things, whatever, this is the argument I'm trying to get people to understand. Emmett Till getting killed is no more or less of a tragedy than the gangbanger who killed someone's 15-year-old son in a drive-by shooting. We tend to, oh my God, white people killed Emmett Till. That's so much worse than what the Crips and the Bloods do to each other and do to neighborhoods every day, or what the terrorism that the KKK did in the 40s and 50s. That's worse than the terrorism that street gangs do today in these neighborhoods. And it's just not true. And so my dad is now passed, but I talked to my mother about her upbringing in all black neighborhoods where the dentists and the doctors that she went to actually live within walking distance of their house, and how much fun they had and how much they enjoyed their childhood, and their whole life wasn't built around, oh, do I get to eat at a restaurant next to a white person? Did they want that right? Yes. But were they sitting around when they were eating at home or eating in restaurants in their own community, sitting there, oh God, I wish I could go eat with white people? They weren't. And even I'm just 57, but again, when I think about my favorite place on earth, it was either Jimmy's J Bar J, the second bar my father owned, or it was the Masterpiece Lounge, which that's Mecca for me. That was an all black experience, and I loved it. And it's not because it was an all black experience. I just loved the people there. I loved the music. I loved the food we would cook. I'd love the stories that were told. I would love the engagement with my father's friends, the way we danced, the music that was played, the whole 9 yards. And I wouldn't be sitting at the Masterpiece Lounge going, oh God, this would be so much better if half the crowd was white, or if we were at some white neighborhood bar. My enjoyment wasn't predicated on that. And these people that feel like, oh, I can't really be free or I can't really enjoy life unless I'm doing it in a white neighborhood or around white people. You're the irrational people. And you don't understand people like me. You don't understand people like Jimmy Whitlock, Joyce Whitlock, my Aunt Dorothy, or any of these. And so I think there's just a lot of lying about how miserable and terrible things were in the past. And I'm not saying everything was great in the past either. But this whole like, oh, We were so unsafe. Well, are we safe now? Now that our families have been destroyed, now that men have been run out of the community, there's more terrorism and more fear now than then. My mother was in all black neighborhoods with the doors unlocked.
Yes.
Walking up and down the street, everybody knew each other, blah, blah. They were safer then than we are now. The lies at some point have to stop. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.